Hi, Shubham. So, welcome to this conversation.
Hi,
Uh,
Ishak.
it's been a while since we started doing these interviews, and now we are redoing this whole season in a way that we are connecting with a lot of people who have started their sustainable businesses and who can show others how they did it, share the challenges, share the success stories, and inspire them to start their own ventures. So, thank you again for joining. And to begin, I would like to start with the question, what is your story? So, where did you start and where are you right now? Just an overall picture.
I'm a chemical engineer by background. Science has been an integral part of my journey. I always wanted to do something using my engineering skills. Back in 2017, I got a fellowship under the Ministry of Science and Technology, BIRAC. The fellowship name was Social Innovation Immersion Program Fellowship. It was based out
Hmm.
of Venture Center in Pune. And that fellowship allowed me, like, we had around 6 months of immersion, and it allowed me to go and meet people, understand their problem, meet the farmers, why they are burning the agricultural residue, basically do in-depth need analysis and why the problem exists, and then get into the solution. So I started off, especially in Craste, started off quite in a well-structured journey. And I thought, again, using my chemical engineering skills to use this abundant biomass which is burnt in the country. Just to give a number here, India generates around 500 million tons of agricultural waste, which is almost double the global plastic waste.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, not many solutions exist. And so saw it as a good opportunity. The fellowship helped me to validate the idea and then slowly started working on making value-added products. We set up our lab in Pune. I've spent decent number of years in the R&D. So currently we have two products. One is in packaging domain. We make pulp and paper. We help MNCs become sustainable in their packaging. And we make engineered boards which are formaldehyde free as an alternative to timber. And we have scaled up our technology to from lab to pilot scale 2, 3 years back in Morena, where we have set up our first unit. And then earlier this year, we started doing industrial scale production of our engineered boards. So it's been a long journey of doing research and development work, innovative work, and now we are getting into the market and hoping to reap the fruits with whatever hard work and investment we have done over the years in the lab.
Nice. Amazing. So many things that you dropped in this one description that I want to get into. You started with you being an engineer, right? What got you into this BIRC? Was it BIRC? The social immersion
So the
um
fellowship, in short form, it is SIIP fellowship by BIRAC. It comes under the
BIRAC.
Ministry of Science and Technology. Yeah.
What got you into, as in what made you interested to go for that?
So my just to take a step back from like before the fellowship, I was in London. I was finishing my master's in chemical engineering from Imperial College in London.
Hmm.
And I already had the mindset of doing something in entrepreneurship. I had in fact started my first company in London, which was on seaweed. And I
Okay.
saw the problem of crop burning while I was still finishing my master's. So I came across this fellowship opportunity through Dr. Premnath. He heads Venture Center and NCL Innovation Park in Pune. NCL is National Chemical Laboratory. So I got to know about this opportunity from him. And I thought it could be a good way, since I was coming back to India, it could be a good way to validate what I want to do. So I applied for it, and there were four fellows selected across the country. Fortunately, I was one of them. And it seemed quite appealing because the fellowship was focused on waste to value. It was also coming with some grants to make
Hmm.
alpha prototype. Was getting lab space under the NCL Innovation Park and some good mentoring as well. Plus, they paid stipend in fellowship. So, to me, I think this was a fantastic program because, in a way, the government is paying the aspiring entrepreneurs, they're giving salary, also some money to work on the idea without taking a lot of financial risk.
Yeah,
So that motivated me to apply for it, and I think was fortunate enough to get it and do a lot of things because of this fellowship.
makes sense. What made you come back to India?
So before I went to the UK, I had already made my mind that I have to come back. I did not go to the UK to settle in that country. I went to the UK to study, gain knowledge, and then come back.
So that
Why?
was
Because
clear.
I want to do something for my country. That was clear, and it is still very crystal clear. Imperial allowed me to get onto the next level of acquiring good engineering skills, which I
Right,
could contribute back to the society. We have a lot of environmental problems in India, and uh, I I again took it as an opportunity and a good way to also serve the country by whatever I've learned. So
right.
it was very clear, even when I wrote the SOP for the admissions, I was very clear what I want to do after Imperial.
Okay, okay. So it was always your plan to come back and contribute to India's
Yeah.
sustainable development.
Yes, somebody has to do it, right?
Yeah. Was sustainability always part of your ambition, or was entrepreneurship overall a part?
So I think entrepreneurship came later, sustainability came before. I
Okay.
did not even know the meaning of of entrepreneurship at one point of time.
Yeah.
And even, like startups were not a known name
Yeah.
in the country. Now, after Shark Tank, everyone knows about startups.
Yeah.
So, like growing up, when we study in school, we learn so many things. We look things around us, and it's something which automatically came when I was growing up. So, saw some of these problems in sustainability, some of the
Hmm.
challenges, and how we can. I always thought what I can do to tackle it. So, I was always looking for some place to start. I also started a non-profit organization, Gramiksha, back in 2011. Our first modules were around environmental awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that maybe I can. So I was also young, I was just 19. So I thought that maybe I can start with teaching the
Yeah.
students in the government schools, especially around environmental awareness. So that's how
Mm.
I started my first organization with a broader aim that education is central to a lot of problems. Then, since I was doing chemical engineering side by side, I got deeper understanding around technology and saw
Mm.
a good way of using technology to solve some of the most pressing environmental problem that our country faces. So
Mm.
it was more like putting all the pieces together. Growing up, like after 12, people are still figuring out. In college, people are still figuring out. We're always figuring out things, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I got one piece from one experience, another piece from one experience, and then I was clear that okay, this is what I want to do. It made sense. So
Yeah.
there is an example. There is a concept I read in this book, Good to Great. It's
Mm-hmm.
about this dog, a triangle where there are three sides of the triangle, which helps you figure out what you should do in your life. The first corner is about do something which you're really passionate about. The second is about something where you are expert, you're really good at doing. And the third is something which can also help you sustain.
Mm.
So when you find the three angles, it's a good solid combination of what you should do in life. So for me,
Yeah.
Craft, I was really passionate about working towards environmental problems. B, I developed a technological acumen. And C, the model can also help to financially sustain myself, right? Because if I'm not able to financially sustain myself, then I cannot do anything. I will
Yeah.
not be able to
Yeah.
focus. So all of that aspects, I found it in Craft.
Okay. So coming to Craste, I think you mentioned a number which was surprising for me, at least the comparison, which was 500 million tons of waste.
It's 500 million tons.
And this is double of the plastic waste.
Hmm. It's a huge waste that we have because India is mainly an agrarian economy.
Yeah.
And when we do agriculture, we get agricultural waste also.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can imagine how much of the waste is being burned in Punjab and Haryana that the entire Delhi gets engulfed in toxic smog every winter,
Every
right?
winter.
And
Yeah.
you go. If you travel towards Punjab during winter times, you can see so much of live crop burning happening. It's the toxic haze is everywhere, even before it comes to New Delhi.
I mean, what's the local people's story about this? I'm pretty sure they don't like this themselves, right?
So, of course, the local people get affected first. Their children, they themselves breathe that air first before
Exactly.
it comes to. But there is lack of awareness around crop burning. When I go onto the ground, there are myths around crop burning. Some people think that it's going to get rid of the rodents present in the soil by burning the soil. They feel that it can kill the fungus and all these insects which can harm the plant. But what they don't know is that they are destroying and burning the entire soil ecosystem, which is full of earthworms and many insects,
A
which
lot of
helps
biodiversity,
soil fertile.
right?
So that is one of the myth that we see. Second thing is that people do want to save money, right? Burning is cheap, it is free, it spreads on its own, takes less labor, takes less time. The economics of crop burning, the farmers they understand it. If they have to put in money, they will try to refrain from burning the crop if they get money. So this is exactly where we focus that whatever we do, we need to incentivize the farmers.
Mm,
Otherwise, people are not motivated at all.
mm,
The
mm,
government regulations are not there. So government especially they try their best as much as possible on reinforcing the laws around preventing crop burning. But people still find a way somehow,
mm.
right? And I think you might have seen it was in the news in the last crop burning season. In the north, some of the farmers have become experts in burning the field when the satellite is not over their field. So this is what
Wow.
I read in the newspaper that they know that okay, this is when the satellite is coming because the satellites are also capturing the hotspots, right?
Right,
Manually, it's possible for anyone to understand and go and see that how many fields are getting burned. So
right.
NASA publishes a data. They
Okay.
track crop burning. They have some good data present around that. And
Interesting.
this is where some of the farmers have upgraded themselves to dodge the satellites.
It's amazing how people in India can leverage resources in such a different way than what they're meant for.
Yeah.
So, take me through this journey of learning about such a big waste and coming to the first prototype.
So the first prototype we made back in I think 2017 itself. I think this was before I incorporated Craste. So I started with making boards. That was the first application we started to work on. I
Hmm.
was alone in 2017.
Okay.
So this time it was a fellowship period. So we did not incorporate Craste. We got incorporated in 2018. So the first prototype was I was discussing with my mentor, and my mentor was like, Shubham, do something. Just try to make something first. It will give you some confidence. So for making those boards, I used Fevicol and I mixed it along with the straw particles. I put it together. I compressed it and I got something which looked like a board, and I was very happy
Okay.
that I made something, though it was made out of Fevicol, sticking all the straws together with Fevicol. So I was
Yeah.
quite happy. I was, wow, I've made something. And I also participated in some competitions with that early competitions with that Fevicol board. And I also worked on some bioadhesives that time. I participated in some competitions and everyone was very happy that, wow, it looked really nice. Now, when I see my products now, whatever we have developed, I think it's it's totally different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still have those some prototypes. I'll put it in the Museum of Craft whenever we make one.
Do you
But
have
it
one around?
not right now. I have a
I,
final product now. So this is how the
okay.
final product looks like.
Okay.
Well
It
compressed
looks
board.
very finished. Yeah.
The earlier ones were they're also very fragile now because the Fabicol is coming apart.
Mm,
But it gave me a confidence that I can at least make something.
mm,
And then I
mm,
slowly started innovating, researching more into the glues and adhesives.
Mm,
especially formaldehyde-free adhesives, because so formaldehyde is a cancer-causing chemical which is used in the particle boards, MDF, and plywoods in India. And,
mm,
and there is no regulation or limitation of formaldehyde in India as of yet. So my idea was to create a board which was not only sustainable but also healthier, because these
right.
formaldehyde emissions can reach out, it can stay into indoor environment for years.
Mm,
So especially very hazardous to children and elderlies. So that was the focus of our research. And so when we incorporated the company in 2018, I was able to get the first team onboarded, got some money from the government to carry out further research and development. We were able to, accelerate our research and development. So
mm,
one, uh, it was challenging, of course. I think if it was not challenging, then anyone could have done that,
mm,
right? Anyone could have just picked up the straw from the farms and started making boards. One more technical challenge was, even if we have to use this formaldehyde glue, it doesn't penetrate inside the structure of the crop particles because it has a waxy layer. So
yeah.
the formaldehyde glue basically sticks on the top and leads to inferior properties basically. So that was another research objective for us.
Mm,
Back in 2019, we made a lot of iterations and with our DOE. But when we went to test our boards in the government lab, all our boards failed.
mm,
And then we had another challenge, which was that the glue that we are using should uniformly mix with each and every particle. If it doesn't, then wherever there is no mixing of the glue with the straw particles, the crack will start from there. So we had another challenge, and we made this challenge into an opportunity. We filed a patent on the challenge. We came up with a new technology. It's a blending technology which ensures each and every particle of the straw is coated,
mm,
giving superior strength. So our boards are quite durable, quite strong. We are as good as HDHMR boards. These are the high density green color boards available in the market. With every opportunity, with every challenge, and I think challenges are important in research, because if you have to do something innovative and novel, it cannot be something which is on an easy thing. So challenges help to first to identify the challenges, and those challenges helps us to find the gap in the research.
mm,
Once we find the gap in the research, then we can see if there is an opportunity to do something which is novel and non-obviousness, to file a patent also.
right.
So our IP has been created because we saw some challenges in the current research work in the products that we have been working on.
Going back to the time when you created this first prototype and you used Fevicol, what was your mindset? Were you were you after creating something big at that point? Did you already have the idea of selling boards, or did you have a different idea about how you would take this on?
So when I was doing my immersions, I studied different applications such as composting, biofuel, electricity generation from husk. But then all these applications were low value added applications where the farmers were not getting incentivized enough, which was
Hmm.
leading them to burn the crop residue.
Hmm.
So I did a lot of market research around high value addition, and the furniture segment was one of them, making
Hmm.
boards for the furniture. So I had that clarity that okay, this is what I will start with,
Hmm.
and started working on it. I also met some of the big furniture makers in the country during my immersions to understand the market demand and the market size also, so that
Hmm.
whatever I'm making, before I make, I should understand that there should be some buyers of it rather than
Yeah.
I have to struggle and then buy it and
Yeah.
to sell it. So, the need gap was at the problem side, but also at the market side also. I did both of it before getting onto the product line. Uh,
Right.
and it can be a big business or not. And I think understanding market size is very important. How big is the
Yeah.
market?
So, how did you get in touch with these big furniture makers? Was it
So,
you personally trying to connect with them, or was it part of the fellowship, or how did that go?
There were some contacts which were a part of the fellowship, and then there were some sector specific contacts in furniture and construction, which I use my contacts, use some family friends contact to get into touch with these people and then understand deeper.
You being an engineer, coming from a technical background, what taught you about business? How did you learn the ropes of starting or doing a business? Or why is even looking at market size important? Very fundamental things.
So at Imperial, I also enrolled myself into Imperial Business School. I did finance and financial management and business development and entrepreneurial course. So being at Imperial, we had the flexibility to choose course from different domains as well, including business. So it already was very clear that I have to take up the technology, whatever I've learned in Imperial, and do something on the ground through entrepreneurial ways. So did my formal education in entrepreneurship as well. And then when I
Okay.
came to Venture Center in Pune, which is the incubator,
Hmm.
we had Startup 101 series where we were taught different fundamentals around building startups, why market size is important, how to do financial modeling, different nuances of which an entrepreneur, early stage entrepreneur should learn. That
Hmm.
Startup 101 program, they still do it every year. It benefits a lot of new entrepreneurs, and that really helped me out on understanding different things around the business.
Yeah.
So all of
But
whatever I'm saying in terms of doing the market research, making high value added products, it was a part of a very focused mentoring that I received. Uh,
and this was
so
from
uh,
BIRAC?
yeah, so Venture Center
Okay.
is affiliated to BIRAC.
Okay.
And so basically how it works is that BIRAC has different grants and programs, and they run it through different incubators. So Venture Center was one of the affiliated partner of BIRAC to execute the fellowship. And good thing is that it is under the umbrella of National Chemical Laboratory, so there was good access of labs to carry out research, to test and try out things.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of sourcing the raw material, how did that process go? So I can imagine in the beginning you would source it, of course, very little, but eventually you would have to talk to the farmers to actually buy the waste, transport it, and bring it here, and fundamentally convince them to stop burning. How did that process look like? Like on ground, what did it look like?
When I used to go on the farms for the first time, I used to tell farmers not to burn the crop stubble, but give it to me. But then they were like, what will I do with the stubble? There was a farmer, I still remember, he was not convinced and he was like, no, I'll still burn. What will you do with it? It's a waste. I'll just burn it. I was like, I'll give you money. And he was like, no, I'll just burn it. It's okay. So it took a lot of convincing to the farmers. But I think the trends have been changing and evolving every year. So in Morena, there are two models that we currently have in supply chain. So for mustard, we also use a lot of mustard stocks in Morena because Morena is the hub of mustard.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of stockists here. What they do is after the crop is harvested, the harvesters take the stubble or the stalk, they bring it to the stockist, they sell it to the stockist, then the stockists store it and then they sell it to other people for industrial use. So mustard has been started using here for briquettes making. And
Okay.
because the market has a demand of briquettes, the supply
What
chain
are
of this,
briquettes?
its
Can
briquettes
you
are used for
briefly?
bio
Okay.
for boilers. Yeah. So the market, when the market demanded briquettes, automatically the supply chain started making on its own.
Hmm.
Right. In rice, Punjab and Haryana has a good supply chain now. There are a lot of stockists in Punjab and Haryana. There are a lot of biomass banks which have established, which can sell the industries the straw. In Morena, we don't have such model with rice as of yet. So here we do a lot of field visits where our team goes and meets the farmer. When the crop is still standing, we make a deal with them on procuring it after they have harvested. And then we have to arrange the logistics and get it to the factory. So we have to do everything with rice in Morena. Whereas in
Right.
mustard, a more streamlined supply chain. So as in when the demand for rice also increases, rice straw, then I think the supply chain will also be established like how it has been done for mustard.
Right. So in the beginning days, you had to personally go to the farmers to convince them.
Mhm.
And initially, they did not want to give you the waste, even when you were giving them a financial incentive. Was there a certain way in which you cracked this challenge?
They
Go.
got convinced, like once you see money, people get convinced, right? Then you see waste as a wealth. Then there
Right.
is a value attached to it. And now I think at present there is good awareness on the ground where people realize that there is good value out of it. They can make pellets, they can make briquettes. All these applications exist. Briquettes have taken up in a very scalable way.
Hmm.
So people are aware and they are willing to sell it now. I don't see any challenges where farmers say that they don't want to, get rid of. They're happy now if they get few money, few cents in their pocket, and somebody is able to clear the waste for them. So they are quite happy
Yeah.
about it.
I can imagine the logistics being a big economic burden on the business. Is that so?
Yeah, logistics is quite an expensive affair, even when we have to transport our products from here and there. And that is why our model has been around setting up decentralized micro factories in village areas where we
Mhm.
locally make the materials for regional consumption. Rather than even say transporting our products from north to south or north to any other part of the country, we will be having multiple zones in different geographies, which will allow us to reduce the cost of transportation. And about these products, be it boards or even packaging, India is a timber deficit country. We import heavily from Scandinavian countries, from Malaysia, from New Zealand to meet our wood requirement. So imagine the amount of money that is currently being spent on shipping. Travels thousands of miles to come to the Indian coast, and then it travels inland. So for
Mm.
us, logistics is a very sensitive part in the supply chain and also a part of our business strategy, wherein these micro factories concept can help us really offset some of the carbon emissions which comes through transportation.
How many microfactories do you have today?
So currently we have two factories. Both of them are in central India at the moment. And now we are looking forward to expand it into other geographies. We have been actively in touch with other stakeholders or regional businessmen who would want to take it in their regions.
Okay. What does it take to establish such a microfactory? As in, if someone is listening to this podcast from Hyderabad, if they want to do something in and help you in this value chain, what do you think they need to have?
CapEx is very important because
Okay.
machineries are expensive. Takes couple of crores to set up these machineries. There are good subsidies also available from the government, around 40% on CapEx, which the government can sponsor. And I think for crop waste management, especially for XA2 management on making products out of stubble and straw, there are some more incentives which are coming up on buying the machineries.
Right. Okay. Now, I want to ask you about the challenging parts, as in not from the product innovation perspective or from economic perspective, but from a social perspective. So,
Mhm.
being someone who has studied abroad, who has come back to India, and instead of going for a lucrative corporate job profile, you are going after waste. You are going after a resource which is otherwise born. Also, from the investor's perspective, you are doing something that is not previously established value chain. What were the societal narratives or the challenges that you face from a capitalistic perspective in the way in which the world works on this journey?
So, I never looked it this problem as a waste, that I'm looking after waste. As I said that once a value is attached to something which is looked as waste, it is not waste anymore, it is wealth. I always saw it as a very, very big opportunity to use this abundant biomass. By the end of the day, it is nature's own resources. But he has not figured out on how to use it into a scalable way because of the lack of technology. I saw it as an opportunity to create products which can be used as an alternative to timber. It can help our world's forest, and also to create a social movement where our farmers can get benefited.
Mm,
Where with micro factory concept, the farmers can get jobs locally rather than traveling to cities for jobs and then living in slums. I think as a model, it was a win-win at every front, from
mm,
environmental front, the market front, from the social front, right, from the government front also, because such model can help to reduce the imports of timber into the country. It can, it goes aligned with the vision of the Prime Minister of making self-reliant India. I did not face a lot of, like I was quite convinced from day one on what I'm doing. And I also saw that people are also convinced that that is why the government has always supported us actively in terms of
mm.
grants. Whatever research we have done, we have got it from the government, from various government grants. And we have been able to get so many grants because we have delivered with what milestones and the technical milestones that we have achieved. And the
Mm.
market has also been very supportive because people know that the prices for plywood is going to increase day by day.
Okay.
So when we speak to architects, especially, they are quite convinced. They know that such materials are needed to meet the gap, which will definitely come up in the coming time with plywood in the market. So I think everyone has been quite supportive.
Yeah.
Because there have been some instances where, like, there was a newspaper who had also put up this article that London se aage bhoosa ho raha hai. So so there have been some
Exactly.
funny stories also around it. Though they did put it in a motivational way. And sometimes people do ask me that why are you working in this area, So I do tell them that whatever I'm telling you right now. So people do understand. It takes time.
Right.
Not everyone understands, but people do understand that making a business out of this biomass is also possible.
Right.
And this year on 26th January, I was invited by the President of India at the home reception. And when that happened, then I got a lot of more validation from my relatives and friends and family members that, okay, oh wow, very proud of you. I think you are doing something great. So, so there are different ways people get convinced, and I'm not here to convince everyone. I'm
Right.
here to focus on my work, and that's what keeps on going me. Be it
Right.
anyone, be it investors or relatives or anyone. But largely, as I said, everyone has been very supportive.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Running a business is multifaceted uh, thing, right? One needs to know the product, but then you also need to do marketing. You also need to manage operations. You also need to hire the right people. You also might want to go for funding. So there are a lot of things to do. It might sound daunting and something too big for an individual to think of or even do. How do you manage all of these things today?
It is very difficult, to be honest. Running a business every day, I think entrepreneurs have these questions in their mind because it is not an easy thing. Sometimes I won't say that I'm able to manage everything every time, no. A lot of times I'm not able to manage a lot of things because things are beyond my control because of certain factors, external factors, internal factors. But I think having a great team is important, right? A company or a vision is not one person's, task. A company means group of people, and I think we are very fortunate that we have some our core team members. They have been very instrumental in driving Craste forward. My co-founder has been extremely supportive in addressing challenges. So all of us have our challenges divided rather than one person taking up all the challenges.
Mm,
So that's how we operate and work. We divide our challenges, we divide our stress, we divide our burden. We use our own individual skill sets. Whenever we hire, also, we make sure that the person whom we are getting on the table is bringing something unique on the table, some unique
mm,
skill set.
How
So
many are this we today?
right now we are 17 people.
And these are what kind of profiles? Like, are they all scientists
Mixed
or
profile. So most of them are from the production and the engineering side.
right?
We are slowly building up our business team. We are currently having 3 people in the business domain.
Mm,
And since now we are getting into the market, we are hiring for more roles, which can help the rate and get into the market and earn some money. But I think the answer lies in the team on how to
right,
manage things.
right.
And being able to manage the team also is in skill because managing a team is not an easy thing. So for that, I think I got a lot of experience while working in Gramiksha when we had a team of more than 500 plus people in the
Mm,
non-profit organization. So in my early years, I was because of this experience in my early 20s when I started the organization, I learned and acquired a lot of these skills, which is today helping me at Craste. And I don't a lot of stress for everything. So when I sleep at night, most of the times I think I sleep a very peaceful sleep because by the end of the day, it's something that I have decided, I have chosen. I am working on an idea which gives me a lot of satisfaction and peace itself.
mm,
And I thought it will be very challenging even before starting Craft. So when I knew it's going to be challenging, then my mind is already wired to that.
mm.
And challenges
Yeah,
keep on coming. There are different levels of challenges which keeps coming. We have been fortunate to get a great team, also great mentors who help us navigate through those challenges also with their experiences.
yeah. Can imagine. Looking at the impact of Craste, what are you most proud of?
So there are so many things to be proud of actually, because when we demolish any challenges, we do take a lot of pride that we have accomplished something. But I think setting up a factory in Morena has been something personally I feel was the most difficult thing. And we have been able to set up the factory despite so many challenges. We were in a 120 square feet lab in Pune, and coming to a 20,000 square feet factory has been
Wow.
quite an extraordinary journey. So building piece by piece, I had no experience in setting up factories. And this is the first time I set up a factory. I experienced those challenges. Me and my team, we have been able to create something, then nothing. I think we are really proud of whatever we have accomplished and doing something, especially in a region like Morena, where it's a tough region to work in because of
Mm,
multiple factors. We had electricity issues also. We had only 4 hours of electricity in a day. There were so many such challenges we had. And then making people come and work in Morena was a big challenge, right? Because young people would want to go to Bangalore or Pune or Mumbai, get a fancy job and a fancy lifestyle. You don't get such things in Morena. So despite odds that all the friends, we are still there, still surviving, and have also demonstrated that businesses can also be built from villages.
hmm. Amazing. So, out of the 500 million tons of waste, how much waste have you been able to process so far?
A drop in the ocean, I would say. Yeah. Mhm.
What's the goal? What's
Mm.
the vision?
So our idea is to now scale up to multiple such factories in different geographies.
Mm,
With the board, we are aiming 4 major factories in different zones. With the pulp, we have not started franchising, but hopefully from next year we will start franchising the pulp setup as well. There are few things in the technology we are still working on, but yeah, like Our goal is to set up as many such factories. We have around 150 plus requests on setting up these factories, especially the pulp one. Once we are able to finish some of the technological work at the industrial scale, at the factory level for the pulp, we will be able to set up these micro factories.
Yeah. So currently you take the waste, turn it into pulp, make products out of it, and the products are the ones that you sell. Now you also want to make the whole part of making the pulp standardized so that you can scale it up. Is that
Yeah,
so? Okay.
yes. For boards, we are already streamlined now, and we are actively looking into partners to scale up in different geographies.
Yeah. Okay. One final question I have. What tips or advice would you give to a budding innovator, entrepreneur, somebody who wants to do something on their own in this space?
I would strongly urge the young people to come and experiment in this space. It's the best time in the country right now to do entrepreneurship because the government is very supportive. Look for government funds if the entrepreneurs are into the research domain. There are plenty of funds available. And whatever you do, it has to be something unique also in research domain in order to get those government funds. Unique and novel. I would also suggest them to join a good incubator. I was at Venture Center in Pune. It's a great incubator. Would strongly recommend to start from incubation because that gives you a more focused mentoring and structuring on how to take your ideas forward rather than you figuring out everything yourself. I was fortunate enough to get excellent mentoring and support from my incubation.
Right. That's awesome. I think we are nearing the end of the time. So thanks a lot for taking this time and sharing your story. I think it has been a challenging plus rewarding journey for you, it seems. And I wish Craste and you all the best for the future.
Thanks a lot, and it was really nice interacting with you. And keep doing the great work on bringing stories through your platform. Wish you all the best as well.